I don't know. Where's the bigotry? This show is so good it just erased bigotry? Or maybe it's not bigotry. Maybe just crazy thought in my head. It's the story writing and the character developments and how they killed off legacy characters without respect. I just did a video about Nia Nub being killed off. Hey guys, Final Death Star again here. CBR, one of my favorite websites. It just has so much content for videos. They are calling out a new toxic fandom. Yes, they're moving beyond Star Wars now, and now they're going after The Witcher fandom, calling them out for being toxic, like the diehard fans, or the fans of the show who aren't diehard fans. So let's get in this article, and here we go. CBR. Watch out, Star Wars. There's a new toxic fandom on the rise. The two biggest franchises on everybody's mind at the moment are Star Wars and the recently expanded Witcher franchise. They're two completely different fantasy worlds, but they have at least one thing in common. No, we're not talking about a stoic TV show protagonist who hunts bad things for money before finding themselves caring for powerful children. We're talking about the increasingly hostile fandoms surrounding these two franchises. In the last couple of years, Star Wars fans have had an undeniable image problem. The divided reception of 2017's The Last Jedi brought the passion of the fanbase to light, and as a result, all the ugliest parts of that passion were revealed. It didn't seem to matter if you loved or hated the newest installments of the franchise, you'd find yourself criticized by someone, either for mindlessly supporting Disney's mutilation of iconic film story, or for being a bigot who couldn't stomach anything different. Oh, bigots, here we go again. Calling the Star Wars fandom bigots. Whatever middle ground there might have been was buried beneath abuses hurled from all directions. They just can't get beyond this bigotry thing. I mean, it's clear now that that was not the case. You even have critics coming out saying that The Rise of Skywalker is just not a good movie. Had nothing to do with bigotry. You know, did you ever think that it's maybe storytelling? That was the problem? Moving on. Make no mistake, as uncivil as everyone on the internet anyway seems to be, one extreme of the Star Wars fandom spectrum was and continues to be far worse than the rest. Because the truth is that at that extreme, there are genuine bigots, and they are vocal. Those who hate the newest trilogy harassed Daisy Ridley and John Boyega online, and forced Rose Tico actress Kelly Marie Tran off social media after she endured months of abuse from so-called fans. She still has not said that is the reason why. That's you're guessing there. And Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, my goodness, they've come out in the media and criticized The Last Jedi. So don't try to keep defending. They're not. Even the actors themselves are criticizing these movies. It's not bigotry. It's terrible story writing. You people at CBR, you got to give this. I know it's just you're going for broke here, right? You lost, and you're going for broke. You got nothing else. But my goodness, it's just silliness. With the release of Rise of Skywalker and the sequel trilogy finally done, the arguments have died down. Although that might be because The Mandalorian and its adorable baby Yoda have managed to distract the fandom from more divisive parts of the franchise. With its remarkable viewer numbers and widespread praise from audiences, the series certainly seems to be the addition to the franchise that brought the shattered fan base back together again. Okay, I'm going to just turn this around on you here, CBR.com. Widespread praise from audiences and remarkable viewer numbers. Now, why is that? Because the show's good. Why is that? Because the characters are well developed. Why is that? Because the storyline, with the exception of a couple episodes here and there, is a good storyline. It fits well within the time period of right after Return of the Jedi. The characters have all been pretty well developed so far, even in just the 8 episodes we've had. It's had mystery. It's gotten the fan base engaged. But boy, Is it that good that it's erased bigotry? Are all the bigoted fans of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, are they just not bigots anymore because they like this show? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. Because if you think about it, we've got a show that has one of the lead characters is a female, Cara Dune, who's been pretty much liked by everyone in the fandom. Two of the best episodes have been directed by a woman, Deborah Chow. Episodes 3 and 7. I don't know. Where's the bigotry? This show is so good it just erased bigotry? Or maybe it's not bigotry. Maybe, just crazy thought in my head. It's the story writing and the character developments and how they killed off legacy characters without respect. I just did a video about Nien Nunb being killed off. I didn't even realize. He's dead. They killed him off. Same with Akbar. Killed off. Without a second glance. Maybe that's why. Maybe it has nothing to do with bigotry. Because I find it hard to believe The Mandalorian is so good that it erases bigotry. It has cured bigotry. No, it never was to begin with. It's crap storytelling. And that's the issue. And The Mandalorian has not done that. It's delivered a better story with better character development. And it has females as lead characters. And it has female directors. So I don't understand this article. Your little your point here. I think I just shattered what point you were trying to make here. But anyway, let's go back to The Witcher. However, a new fantasy series has taken over The Mandalorian in viewership. Netflix The Witcher. Unfortunately, with that popularity has come a new wave of toxic fans tearing across the internet. It wasn't always this way. In the months leading up to the release of the novel-based Witcher adaptation, fans of, I'm not going to say this guy's name right, I'm sorry, it's the author of the books, Sapkowski, books series were quite respectful toward those who had only played the video games, and both welcomed newcomers to the franchise. They seemed to be excited to share this new mythos with the world, for no other reason than because they wanted others to fall in love with the franchise as well. What a pure-hearted thing to do. It didn't take long for all that to change after the series was released. Every minor alteration, showrunner Lauren S. Hersrich and her team made to the story or its characters tore the fan base into two vocal camps. Those who adored the show and those who felt it butchered Sapkowski's story. Very quickly, the Witcher fandom started to look more and more like that of Star Wars. Ooh, Star Wars toxic fandom. Those who disliked the show were targeted by some of its rabid supporters, such as YouTuber Proper Bird, who enjoyed a small amount of popularity among the Witcher fanbase novel readers. After releasing a review of the Netflix adaptation criticizing some of the show's major deviations from the source material, she was subject to harassment and abuse on social media, which eventually prompted her to abandon the fandom entirely. I am not familiar with Proper Bird, so, that could very well happen, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with her. That's not to say that the series' extreme detractors are any better. There just seem to be fewer of them. Hesrich, who often and bravely interacts with the Witcher fans on the internet, has suffered her share of unwarranted insults and the like from those who felt she and the rest of Netflix series team had failed to do the franchise justice. If that wasn't enough, there's a significant amount of bigotry behind a few of the complaints, mostly regarding the race of some of the characters or what some perceive to be an attempt to force diversity into a Slavic-inspired fantasy setting. But it's worth noting, however, that Sapkowski's fantasy world draws inspiration from a multitude of different European cultures, as well as a few from Africa and Asia. I will say one thing. If it seems everyone's so touchy on the forced diversity, because we clearly have gotten it, that if it seems like it is, it's going to be an issue. People are they want to see something true to the original content or the lore, change things here and there are okay, but anytime you change, it's just going to happen because people want to see on screen what they've seen in the video games or what they've read about, and if it's a race that's clearly defined and they swap that, when it feels like it's swapped for just the reason of diversity, it's gonna cause a little bit of an issue sometimes. It's just people are very timid on that kind of thing right now. The abuse, racism, and boisterous online conflict are all elements of the same kind of appalling fandom that the internet has seen before with the Star Wars. And of course, it is limited to the internet. Social media tends to breed this kind of behavior. The only difference right now is the argument surrounding Netflix The Witcher is happening on a much smaller scale than the multi-billion-dollar cinematic franchise set in a galaxy far, far away. This will undoubtedly change now that Netflix series has sparked such a massive interest in the Witcher franchise. Newcomers are just starting to work their way through 8 novels, complete the video games, or both. For now, the toxic fandom is limited to those who have already been enjoying the novels and video games, which means their number is overly aggressive fans isn't as sizable as it could be. The novel saga's readership was never among the largest, at least in the English-speaking world. As for the video games, they sold tens of millions of copies, but translated blah, 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 blah. Time will tell if the newer fans drawn in by the live-action adaptation take sides after familiarizing themselves with the different parts of the franchise. Perhaps a fresh perspective will temper the current fan base. Star Wars fans have a tarnished reputation, but there's still hope that the Witcher lovers will turn their fandom around. There's still chance to save Witcher. Well, I don't know. It seems like they're now focused on the Star Wars fandoms. We can't call them bigots anymore because now they all like Mandalorian and it's got female directors and female lead characters. So I guess we'll go on to The Witcher. We'll move on and now call that the toxic fandom. They just jump from fandom to fandom until they can try to destroy it the best they can. That's the feeling I get. I don't know. Call me crazy. Maybe I am. Alright guys, let me know what you think of the video. Give a thumbs up if you do like it and share it. And till next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.